Picture this. You're sitting at your desk and your lower back is screaming at you. It's only 11 a.m., but you've already shifted positions 17 times trying to find some relief. Your neck has that constant dull ache that's become so normal you barely notice it anymore. And here's the kicker. You bought that office chair specifically because it was on sale for $42, and you felt so smart for not wasting money on one of those fancy ergonomic ones. Fast forward 18 months, and you're at a physical therapist's office getting billed $1,850 for sessions to fix damage that a $300 chair would have prevented. Ask me how I know. I'm an accountant. My literal job is finding ways to save money and optimize spending. So when I tell you there are 7 specific things you should never cheap out on, it's not because I'm telling you to be wasteful. It's because I've learned through painfully expensive mistakes that being cheap on certain things is actually one of the most expensive habits you can develop. My name is Megan. I'm an accountant, and here I share smart financial tips that anyone can implement today. If you've ever bought something cheap thinking you were being financially responsible, only to realize later it cost you way more than if you just spent the money up front, make sure to subscribe because we're about to break down exactly where being frugal backfires. Now, before we get into the 7 things, let me paint you a picture of what's actually happening when you cheap out on the wrong stuff. You're not just losing money, you're paying what I call the poverty tax, and it compounds in ways that are honestly kind of brutal. Every time you buy a cheap version of something important, you're making a bet. You're betting that the money you save today will somehow be worth more than what it's going to cost you later, in replacement costs, health problems, lost opportunities, and straight up stress. And here's what I've discovered after watching this pattern play out over and over, both in my own life and with clients. That bet almost always loses. The average American replaces cheap items 3 times more frequently than quality versions. That's data from a 2023 consumer behavior study. But here's what that stat doesn't tell you. It's not just about the replacement cost. It's about what happens to your life in between. The stress of dealing with things that break, the time spent shopping for replacements, the frustration of products that don't work properly, the opportunity cost of always operating at less than your best because your environment is working against you. Let me show you exactly how this works, because once you understand the math and the psychology behind it, you'll never look at spending the same way again. Number 1, your mattress. And I know this sounds obvious, but stick with me here because the numbers are wild. You spend roughly 1/3 of your life on a mattress. That's around 2,920 hours per year. If you make $50,000 annually, that means your earning potential per hour is about $24. Now here's where it gets interesting. Studies from Harvard Medical School show that poor sleep quality reduces cognitive performance by up to 30%. That's not just feeling tired. That's making worse decisions at work, missing details in important conversations, and showing up to meetings less sharp than your competition. So let's do the actual math. A cheap $300 mattress that gives you poor sleep for 5 years versus a quality $1,200 mattress that gives you good sleep for 10 years. On the surface, you saved $900. But if that sleep quality difference costs you just a 10% reduction in work performance, and that affects even one promotion opportunity worth a $5,000 raise, you've lost $25,000 over 5 years. And that's being conservative. I'm not even counting the chiropractor visits, the pain medication, or the fact that you're walking around exhausted half the time. Here's the part that will probably surprise you. It's not even about buying the most expensive mattress. It's about buying one that actually supports your body properly. I spent 8 years on a $400 mattress because I convinced myself that expensive mattresses were just marketing. When I finally upgraded to a $1,100 one, my chronic neck pain disappeared within 3 weeks. My physical therapist literally asked what I'd changed because my range of motion had improved that dramatically. Number 2, your work shoes. This is something that will blow your mind when you actually run the numbers. If you're on your feet for work, or even if you're just walking to and from your car, your office, and around during the day, cheap shoes are a financial disaster in slow motion. A $40 pair of shoes lasts maybe 6 months before they're shot. A quality $150 pair lasts 3 to 4 years. That's already breaking even mathematically. But here's what most people completely miss. Cheap shoes with bad arch support lead to plantar fasciitis, knee problems, hip issues, and back pain. The American Podiatric Medical Association found that foot problems cost the average American about $3,800 per year in medical treatments and lost productivity. That's wild. And the thing is, it sneaks up on you. You don't wake up one day with destroyed feet. It happens gradually over months and years of your body compensating for poor support. I watched a coworker do this exact thing. She bought cheap flats from a discount store every few months because she worked in an office where she was on her feet for client meetings constantly. After 2 years, she developed plantar fasciitis so bad she couldn't walk for more than 15 minutes without limping. The treatment? Custom orthotics that cost $600, physical therapy sessions at $180 each, and she still had to buy better shoes anyway. Total damage? Over $2,400, not counting the pain and the fact that she couldn't exercise for almost a year. Now, you might be thinking, this doesn't apply to you if you work from home or have a desk job. But here's the thing, your feet are your foundation. When they hurt, everything up the chain hurts. Your knees compensate, your hips tilt, your back adjusts. It's all connected. And cheap shoes are like building a house on a foundation that's slowly sinking. Number 3, and this is where most people mess this up, your office chair. I mentioned my $42 chair disaster at the beginning, and let me tell you the full story because it's almost embarrassing how predictable this was. I sit for probably 8 to 10 hours a day. That's more time than I spend sleeping. And I convinced myself that spending money on a fancy chair was wasteful because all chairs are basically the same, right? Wrong. So painfully wrong. Within 6 months, I started getting headaches. Not stress headaches, but tension headaches from my neck and shoulders being in bad positions all day. Then came the lower back pain. Then the hip pain from sitting unevenly trying to get comfortable. I tried everything. Different sitting positions, standing breaks every hour, yoga, stretching. Nothing helped because the problem wasn't my behavior. It was the chair forcing my body into positions it wasn't designed for. The physical therapy to fix it cost $1,850. The productivity I lost from working in constant discomfort? I can't even calculate that. But I know there were days I accomplished maybe 60% of what I normally would because I was just so uncomfortable and distracted by pain. A quality ergonomic chair costs anywhere from $400 to $1,000, depending on what you need. I finally bought one for $650. The back pain disappeared in 2 weeks. The headache stopped. And I'm not exaggerating when I say I probably work 15% more efficiently just from not being in constant low-level pain. Here's the kicker. That chair will last me 10 to 15 years. My cheap chair started falling apart after 18 months. Do the math on that replacement cycle, and suddenly the expensive chair is the budget option. But here's where it gets really interesting. Numbers 4 through 7 all share something in common. They're not just about avoiding costs, they're about what I call opportunity multipliers. These are things where spending more doesn't just save you money, it actually creates opportunities and increases your earning potential in ways that compound over time. Number 4, your winter coat if you live somewhere cold. A cheap coat that doesn't keep you warm means you're cold from November to March, and when you're constantly cold, you get sick more often, have less energy, skip the gym, avoid going outside for networking or errands. A quality winter coat costs $200 to $400. A cheap one costs $60, lasts 2 years, and doesn't actually work. The season I tried a cheap coat, I caught 2 colds that kept me home for 3 days each. At my hourly rate, that was $1,152 in lost income, not counting medication. Number 5, your everyday work bag or backpack. I see people buy a $25 backpack from a big box store, watch it fall apart in 8 months, then buy another one on repeat. But that cheap bag costs you in multiple ways. The replacement cycle, wasted time digging for things because it's poorly organized, strain on your shoulders from bad weight distribution, and in professional settings, a falling apart bag affects how people perceive you. I'm not saying you need a designer bag. A quality bag that costs $150 to $200 will last 5 to 10 years, protect your laptop, keep documents dry, and help you look put together. These small perception differences affect opportunities in ways you don't always see. Number 6, your kitchen knives. Now, you might be thinking, Megan, what does this have to do with finance? Everything, actually. Cheap knives are dangerous. They slip because they don't hold an edge, which means more force, which means more injuries. Emergency room visits for knife cuts average $2,500. But beyond safety, good knives make cooking at home actually enjoyable. When I had terrible knives, I ordered takeout 4 times a week because cooking felt like torture. That's $80 to $100 weekly, or about $4,500 per year. I bought a decent knife set for $180. My food budget dropped by $200 a month. The knives paid for themselves in 3 weeks. And this is where most people mess this up, and I see it constantly. They think frugality means always buying the cheapest version of everything. But real frugality is about optimizing value. It's about understanding where spending more money actually saves you money and improves your life, and where it doesn't matter. Number 7, and this is the big one that ties everything together, your health insurance and preventive care. This is where being cheap can literally bankrupt you. I know health insurance is expensive. The average individual plan costs around $500 per month now. But here's what happens when people try to save money by getting the absolute cheapest plan with the highest deductible and worst coverage. They avoid going to the doctor because every visit costs money out of pocket. Small problems become big problems. Preventive care gets skipped, and then something serious happens and they're hit with bills that wipe out everything they thought they were saving. I had a client who switched to a bare bones plan to save $150 per month. Then she ignored weird symptoms for 6 months because specialist visits were $300 out of pocket. By the time she went in, a treatable condition had progressed to needing surgery. Total cost after insurance, $18,000. The better plan would have cost $1,800 more per year, but covered most of that surgery. But here's the thing, it's not just about avoiding catastrophic costs. It's about preventive care actually keeping you healthy and productive. Regular checkups, dental cleanings, vision tests, these aren't luxuries. They're maintenance on the machine that earns your income. Your body is literally your income-generating asset. Cheaping out on maintaining it is like buying a $50,000 car and refusing to change the oil to save $30. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Megan, this all makes sense, but what if I genuinely can't afford the better versions of these things right now? And that's a completely fair question. Here's what I tell people. You don't have to upgrade everything at once. Pick one thing. The thing that's causing you the most pain or costing you the most in quality of life. Start there. If you're working from home in pain every day, the chair is priority 1. If you're exhausted all the time, it's the mattress. If you're getting sick constantly, it's the winter coat. And here's something that will probably surprise you. For most of these items, buying quality used is totally fine. A $1,000 office chair from 3 years ago on Facebook Marketplace for $300, that's perfect. A barely used winter coat from a consignment shop? Great. The point isn't the price tag, it's the quality and functionality. What I've learned, both as an accountant and just as a person trying to build a decent life, is that real wealth isn't about having expensive things. It's about making strategic decisions that compound positively over time instead of negatively. Every cheap purchase that creates problems compounds those problems. Medical issues compound, stress compounds, lost productivity compounds. But quality purchases in the right areas compound too. Better sleep improves everything. Less pain means more energy. Proper tools make tasks easier. It all builds on itself. The poverty tax is real, and it's brutal. Every time you buy something cheap that breaks, hurts you, or makes your life harder, you're essentially volunteering to pay more over time. And the cruelest part is that it keeps you stuck. You can't get ahead because you're constantly replacing things, dealing with problems, and operating at less than your full potential. So here's what I want you to take away from this. Being smart with money doesn't mean buying the cheapest version of everything. It means understanding value, understanding where quality matters, and making strategic investments in the things that actually affect your health, productivity, and opportunities. Your mattress, your shoes, your chair, your coat, your bag, your knives, and your health. These aren't luxuries, they're infrastructure. They're the foundation that everything else in your life is built on. Start building that foundation intentionally because your future self is counting on the decisions you make right now. And trust me, they'll either thank you or wish you'd spent the extra money. The choice is yours, but now you know the math.